most people never make any goals. And so, but when you hit a goal, even the Bible talks about it. And there's been studies done that you are like, very often people start their own companies, they don't realize what the road ahead of them. So they lose credibility, they lose money, they lose time.
If they teach you and you learn that skill and you cost less, they could pay you less to do the same job. When I came out to my mentor, hey, this guy's like, bro, just follow my lead. I'm gonna tell you what to do, just do it. And that's one the same thing. I'm an empty cup. Tell me what to do, I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Profiles of Success here with BYLD Network in our podcast. Today I've got the pleasure of having this guy's not only a top mentor with our company, but he's a solar professional. He's also one of the trainers for the door-to-door trainings that we do Tuesday through Friday. So people love him. He's got a great heart. He started doing some additional trainings on scripts, and people are raving about these trainings. Truly a leader that takes the initiative, because that's one of the attributes of a leader. So with that being said, I'm happy to have my friend, Mr. Johnny Montes. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'd be lying to you guys if I told you otherwise, man. Thank you for having me.
Nice, man. Well, it's good to have you, bro.
Man, I've been seeing everybody doing their thing. I was like, man, let me see when I get that phone call.
There you go.
I got that phone call the other day. But
okay.
It's a pleasure.
It took a few months, but because here's the thing, we want to do these authentic, right? Like, we don't just, you're not going to see a new person that hasn't done anything come on this podcast. You got to go out and prove yourself, right? And that's how it should be. That also gives people in the organization, a part of the company, something to strive for, right? So I always start off people want to know, right? These are the profiles of success. So we want to get people, and the more people we get on here, you're going to see it's a diversity of people. There's people that did this, people that did that, people that come from sales background, people with no experience, etc. So I want to know, Johnny, before we get into your success with the company, what were you doing before working in the solar industry and working with us?
Before working with you guys, I was already working with the solar company, right? Came in, but before I started that, I had zero sales experience.
Got it.
I came straight from the field. I was a union carpenter.
Got it.
Southwest Carpenter Union. Finished carpenter at that. I did fine work. Commercial grade, had no sales experience. I worked with Budweiser. I'd making music. Literally right before I started came into the solar industry, I was a carpenter.
Okay.
Thousands of dollars worth of tools. Little by little got rid of all my tools, but that's what I was doing. I was out in the field, man, getting up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, working 10, 12, 14-hour days. And, just kind of, it's crazy how everything just happens.
Yeah. So how did you get recruited into the solar industry?
My lady.
Oh,
my lady. So she's been in sales her whole life.
Got it.
And I love people.
Right.
I love people. I have a passion for people. And there's a rule to this day where if we're running late to a birthday party, we got to get a quick gift card. I'm not allowed to go in because I will turn that 3-minute trip into a 30-minute trip.
Got it.
Because I'll find someone to talk to. I'll talk to somebody.
That's good.
I'll talk to people in line when we're at the store. Hey, you got something in your cart? Hey, pariente, what you gonna cook? What you got? Next thing you know, we're talking.
Right.
So she's like, why aren't you in sales? Right? You talk to everybody. You leave me in a room long enough, I'll start talking to the spiders. I talk to everyone,
Right.
She's like, you need to be in sales. Said I have jokingly, but as time went on, she's like, why aren't you in sales? It literally rubbed it into my soul. I'd be home, burnt out, long day from just working all day on my feet, rubbing my feet and telling me, hey, you need to get into sales.
That's right.
She kept saying that, literally rubbed it into my soul, through my soul.
Right.
You need to get into, just give it a shot. But my whole thing was, sales were sleazy. They're dirtbags. They just want to make money. They want to take advantage of people. And I'm not going to be one of those dummies.
Right.
But one day she called me. She's like, hey, someone's going to call you in about 15 minutes. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, so I'm taking an interview with the solar company. I'm looking to get into solar. They're going to call you.
Wow.
All right, whatever. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Got on the line, talked to these guys, asked me a bunch of questions. And I was like, look, bro, I can't even do this full time. I got a full-time job. And they're like, look, you can do it, whatever, so on and so forth. Whatever. I guess they like what they heard. And they told me, hey, well, we're going to set up a Zoom interview this Friday. Yeah. All right, cool. So I went to, when I was out in the field, I told the guy I was working with, hey, I got to leave at 2 o'clock today because I got something to do at 3.
Yeah.
Ran home, did the interview, hey, come to the office. Showed up, saw the mindset of people, never left.
Nice.
And I was about to quit, though, until my mentor was like, bro, don't quit. Don't quit yet. I had a full-time job. Yeah. It's like, don't quit. Come to this meeting. Invited me to this big meeting they had. I saw the people, saw the mindset, saw how everybody, it was just different. Right? when you're doing construction, you're always looking at who's going to steal your job.
Oh,
A lot of guys don't want to teach people new stuff because they're like, oh, I'm going to teach you. You're going to steal my job.
that's funny because that happens in the traditional dealer model as well, to a certain degree. But continue.
Yeah, that happens out in the field.
Yeah.
There's few people that want to teach you because they're like, oh, he's younger. He's 15 years younger than me, 10 years younger than me. Especially in the union, you have the apprentices and you have journeymen. So sometimes they're like, if they teach you and you learn that skill and you cost less, they could pay you less to do the same job.
Yep.
Some people have that.
Yep.
And then when I came over here, it's different. People that have a different mindset and they don't mind showing you and teaching you.
Interesting.
So when I saw that, that's when I was like, this is where I got to be.
Right.
But I didn't just leave my job. I had a plan. I told my mentor, hey, I like what this is, but I can't just leave. I have a plan. So I went home and I wrote down all my subscriptions, all my bills, wrote everything down, eliminated this. Okay, these are my bills. I've never done sales before. I need to save this much money times 6. Knowing that if I don't make one single sale for 6 months, I got my bills.
Right. Smart.
So I just told him, hey, and he was very supportive. Hey, I'm here, but stay plugged in. If you're at a job site, you can plug in one headphone, plug into the meetings, hear the trainings. And that's what I did.
Good.
I had it in the background, listening to audiobooks, The 1 Minute Salesman, listening to Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
And once I hit that goal,
That is one book I haven't read. I want to read that book, Atomic Habits.
amazing.
Got it.
Amazing. One thing that the biggest takeaway for me was when we talk about, you always talk about it, talk about systems.
Yep.
You talk about it all the time. What it taught me was that systems are not the same as goals.
Right.
And I was always, goal oriented. And what it taught me what it said was like, every team in the NFL, when they start the season, what's their goal? To win the Super Bowl. But why doesn't everyone get there? Why is it sometimes the same teams going over and over?
Right.
Because their system is the one that they're plugging into. Why do people get depressed when they stop playing professional sports? Because they just set certain goals, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the Kobe Bryants, you have the higher echelon, the Jordans, the people that they have a system in place. And right now, basketball is what they have their system catered to. But once they retire, they just take that same mindset, that system, and plug it into something else, right? And that blew my mind. And I was like, man, I don't have a system at all. So I set my goal. I hit my 6 months worth of income in less time than I thought I was.
Okay.
I hit it. Hey, I'm ready for action. Let's go. Just give me 3 more weeks. I hit my goal. I think I set it in November.
Right.
April, I hit my goal.
Nice.
I saved more money than I ever saved in my life.
Good.
And then,
Because you had to go. That's what's key. That's what people don't realize, right? Most people never make any goals. And so, but when you hit a goal, even the Bible talks about it. And there's been studies done that you are like, I don't know, like a tremendous, it's a big percentage, significantly higher of hitting a goal if you just write it down, right? So go ahead.
I had it in one of our trainings. I think they said 90% of your thoughts are repetitive.
Yep.
And you have about 50,000 thoughts a day. So imagine how much, if you're just thinking about BS,
Right.
how many of those thoughts are just repetitive. So it's like, okay, I had to program myself. I had goals and I also had a plan of how I was going to do it. And once I hit my goal in April. So in April, I was like, I went to the union. I told the company, hey, I'm out. They put me on a leave for 2 years, or just in case, but I'm like, no, I'm leaving. I'm gone. Like there is no, I'm doing this. But what really helped me, because I had never done that, nothing. So my son's birthday is the first week of May. Okay. So like, okay, I don't want to chip into my savings, but I wanted to leave construction. So we started doing petitioning. Those annoying people outside of the stores, hey, check this out. I did that for a month. And that, I think it helped me build my callus. Because realistically, bro, you go out and hit 100 doors, how many hard no's are you really going to get a day?
Right.
3, 4, maybe 5. If you like super suck, maybe 8.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting like 100 no's in an hour sometimes outside of a Walmart.
Right.
You're getting 100 no's. Hey, you want? Nope. So by the time I went out on the door, I was like, oh, this is child's play. 3 weeks ago, when I was like outside of Walmart, I was getting 100 no's in an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe the whole day.
Right.
I'm not getting 100 no's in a month over here. So it helped me build that callus. And once I hit that goal, I went all in. I was all in, didn't turn back.
I love it. So you went all into the traditional dealer model,
Mm-hmm.
which was significantly better than what you were doing, because you could write your own check. You could work your own hours. The philosophy of sales is different than the traditional corporate America, which is true. In traditional corporate America, whether it's construction or anything else, very, very, very often it's, I don't want to teach this young guy what I know because he's going to replace me. He probably doesn't have all the expenses and bills that I have. So if he could do my job just as good or better, and he'll do it for 20%, 30, 50% less, I'm out of a job. So in the entrepreneur world, or just the sales world, before we even get into the entrepreneur world, in the sales world, it's like, doesn't work that way. Now, there's different models that are better than others, right? So tell me what you saw with our organization versus a traditional dealer model that made you make the move.
When you said this, it just hit me, and until I saw it, right? It's an equal opportunity,
Right.
And we're selling the light at the end of the tunnel. Man, yeah, that's true. That's right. And you said something yesterday. We did the training, right? The commissions training. And I think the gentleman kind of tried to hint, like, when you try to hint, like, what was their baseline, and to see if you wanted to keep it low key or text. And you're like, no, transparency, bro. We all have the same stuff.
Right.
And I know people get thrown off when I tell them that. I was like, bro, I have the same baseline. If you start right now, you have the same baseline as our VP.
Right.
We all offer the same price.
Right.
And that to me was mind blown, because at the first place I was at, man, if I told you my baseline, you'd be like, how the hell do you even make money?
Right.
It was nuts. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So what sets us apart is that the transparency.
Yep.
Leadership.
Right.
Bosses and leaders, I don't got to tell you that.
Right.
You can be a boss. That doesn't mean you're a good leader.
Correct.
And there's times that I've been a leader without having to be a boss.
Right.
I do what I do. It's how I carry myself. It's what I'm doing. And then sometimes people just tend to see that. They like that and they'll follow.
Yep. Leadership has a lot to do with it. In business, you want to grow successful business, leadership, right? So we wanted to put together that strong leadership, but at the same time, as you mentioned, that light at the end of the tunnel, what you're referring to is the fact that you could rank advance through the ranks. And it's the same opportunity as it is for you, as it is for my brother. We got my brother here in the room. He's going to be recording after you. And everybody's on the same 70-30 split. Everybody has the same path to manager, director, exec, national, right? Everybody has the ability to build a residual income with the same compensation plan. Because in sales, unfortunately, here's what happens. People get into sales, and when they get a taste of it and they realize, oh, sales isn't for like the select few. It's actually for the few that choose. It isn't for the chosen few, but the few that choose, right? Because anybody can learn it, right? Every child has sales skills in them, right? When they ask for the toy and stuff, and they're unrelenting about it, right? So what happens is, what we wanted to do, and which is what we did, is, where's the light at the end of the tunnel, right? In 5 years, are you still going to be selling? Like, for example, there's a saying about realtors. Realtors don't retire. They just die one day. Meaning they work until the day they retire.
Yeah.
But now you got companies like eXp Realty that came out and say, hey, you can build a brokerage within a brokerage. And that's coincidentally now, but by the way, it's not a coincidence. They're the fastest growing real estate. They already beat Century 21. They beat Keller Williams. They beat Remax. And they're only like 15 years old. These other companies are 50 years old, 60 years old, or whatever the case may be. But why? Because they gave, the rep said, hey, the broker's not the only one that makes money. If I build a brokerage, I can override the sales of my team, and everybody's on the same split. So we created something like that, and we found that it works, right? So anyways, I'm happy to hear that, that's the case.
You guys encourage growth.
Right.
You encourage the growth.
Correct.
And it was funny because, man, it's so right. You said too, you're like, man, you go to a traditional dealer. Let's say you go today, right? Let's say they have 20 people. Go a year from now, you're still gonna have 20 people. Might be 20 different people, right?
Right.
It's 20, and it's so true, because I reach out to some people there. I still have friends in other companies,
Yeah.
and somebody, I start asking them now, hey, and they're like, yeah, we still have this amount of people. People don't stick around, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Because your company doesn't
Deliver revolving door.
Yeah, you don't encourage growth.
Yep.
You're
And they're compliant also. Compliant drives behavior. The problem with the traditional dealer model is, you're on this percentage split. I want to bring somebody up, pay them less than you would make, so you make the difference. They want to bring somebody and they pay them less than they make, so they make the difference. So you could only grow so much. People ask me about my first 3 years in solar, 2,100 installs with my team and I. I say, you think I could have done 2,100 installs by myself or with a team of 10? No way. The business, the compensation plan drives the behavior. And most people in the traditional sales, they don't know how to create the compensation plans for that massive growth.
The last thing that I do want to mention is also, you have clear cut, goals for you guys, for rank advancement.
Yes.
It's not when I feel like it, or you're my boy, or you're my brother. It's like, this is what it is. From day one, we know what it is. So we can plan for someone like myself, that I like to plan stuff out.
Correct.
it helps me out, as opposed to you hear from people other places like, man, they've been kissing ass for 2 years and they're still stuck in the same place. And then the primo shows up and all of a sudden the primo gets that position. And
Right.
it's not like that here.
That's right. And that's what we mean when we say it's an equal opportunity. There's no picture of you with your name on it at the corporate office that says, do not pay this person. Do not rank advance this person. You go and hit those numbers. Doesn't matter if you've been here for a year or for 2 months. You could beat the guy that's been here for a year, right? That's irrelevant. And that's something that's missing. We don't play the politics game. Yeah, politics game is, oh, who do you know? Who do you know? I know we went to high school together and stuff. So therefore, or he's my brother, therefore. No. None of that stuff. It is and I believe that having that culture and that philosophy attracts the right people. So I see you, one of the things I see about you, bro, is that you are constantly selling. You're one of the top closers in the company. You're also one of the trainers, right? You're doing events, you're doing booths, but one thing I'm seeing is that you're duplicating leaders already. You've got people like Mark, shout out to Mark, on your team that's excited, that's building, that's doing events. Matter of fact, today, he's got a booth at something, right? And he's going to represent the Rain H2O product line.
That's right.
And that's what's cool about our company, that like if there's already somebody doing solar, you could go and offer the other things that we offer, right? And you get to override it all. So what would you attribute your success to, being the fact that you're getting interviewed here? There's a reason why you're getting interviewed here. So what would you tell a new person of why it is that you're sitting in that chair right now?
Something that you said, that you say again, right, is even just when I started solar, I was ignorance on fire.
Yeah.
I didn't come in, try to reinvent the wheel, try and do some new stuff. When I came into my mentor, hey, as a matter of fact, now he's with it, Mr. Jesse Rodriguez.
Yeah.
This guy's like, bro, just follow my lead. I'm going to tell you what to do. Just do it. And I told him the same thing. I'm an empty cup. Tell me what to do. I'm going to do it.
Nice.
And that's what I did. Memorize your script. Got it down. Go do this. Go hit this many doors and do this. Do it. Why am I going to question people that have a history of success already?
Yes.
They've already done it.
Correct.
Why am I not going to listen to what they're doing? Just shut up and do it.
Right.
Just shut up and go. That's raw. Why am I going to try to reinvent something? Like, I don't see cars out there with triangle tires.
Right.
No, right. They might change the grip, but they're not new shape or nothing. Like, so many people try to do too much.
Yep.
And I'm like, hell no. I got 6 months. I got 6 months to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
Plugged into the system that he had going on, and in 6 months, but I started told you. So May is when I hit solar. My first month was a little bumpy, but then from June to December in that company as a brand new rep, I became the #1 rep.
Wow.
In individual sales and installs.
I love it. I love it.
Not knowing nothing. People telling me I have shoes older than you.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just that I didn't care.
You were coachable and you were willing to put in the work. I love what you said. You were empty cup. So pour into me. Show me what I need to know. Tell me to jump. And I wouldn't even ask how high. I'll just jump. And that's one thing. I noticed that you're very coachable from the beginning, very humble approach and coachable. And then you couple that with the work ethic. Like, I'm going to go out there and talk to people. You're going to follow your face. Even when we talked to your guy, Jesse, when we met with him, he says, this guy has always been coachable and all that stuff, but I see something different. His belief is so big. I said, I got to see what he's doing because he's a different person. You bought into the vision. You saw the vision, bought into the vision. We say the vision is not taught, it's caught. So you were at the Mentor Factory. If I'm not mistaken, you were also at the at the launch, right?
Yeah.
That's around the time you barely got started. You were still fairly new. So you catch the vision. Guess what? Success leaves clues. That's why you're, once again, sitting in that chair. That's why you've got deals in the pipeline. You've got installs happening. You've got checks coming. You've got a team growing because you're an example when it needs to be to be consistent and win.
Well, you're like, hey, you guys need to read these books. You have that book? Yeah, it's right there. It's
right.
How much is it?
Right.
Snatched it up. That book changed my life again.
That's right.
Building an empire. Told my team, you guys have this book? No. How many more you got? You got 3 books? I'm going to buy them off you. Here, you guys need to read this damn book.
That's right.
We need to listen to this guy. This guy's done it. And I tell him, have you guys been a part of 2,100 installs?
Right. Right.
I don't think so. So maybe you need to.
This is what it takes, man.
You need to play.
Look, there's a shift happening in the dealer model, right? Whether it's solar, security, water, dealer model, that we came and disrupted the dealer model. And so we started our own company. We said, look, we have the systems that work and we have the documented proof, millions of dollars of income earned, many success stories. That's when we started this company, and you saw the vision because you're smart. You're a free thinker, right? You think for yourself and you're like, wait a minute, this is common sense. Unfortunately, we live in a world where common sense isn't too common. So common sense, this makes sense. And isn't it common sense? You find somebody, I asked a mentor, and give me in a nutshell what I got to do to win. He says, find somebody that has the success that you want and that's willing to teach you how he or she got to there, and get busy paying the price and doing exactly step by step what they tell you to do. And he said, at some point, it's not even going to seem like it's not going to make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense. You still do it. And then eventually, when you get to that personal development level, now the things that didn't make sense start to make sense, and you realize why they told you to do that the whole time, right?
100%. And it's true. I'm also not super religious, but I believe in God.
Yeah.
And the way I stumbled across the opportunity was just different.
Yeah.
I think I told you for the first time not so long ago. I was at another company. I was training a lot of people, helping them out in the field, not getting paid, not getting overrides. That's the other beautiful thing. You get overrides day one, right? In your front line. And then so on and so forth. But I was taking people out in the field. Can I sell? I've proven that I can sell.
Yeah.
But then I see people that are putting in a lot of work, getting that meter. I heard this one time, and now I love it. Right? Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
And some of us, we're at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So you're doing all little by little, 1 degree at a time. And people don't see that. Right. They don't see that work. Sometimes you don't even see it. You don't even notice it. But once you hit the 32, a lot of people quit.
Yep.
Right before you hit that 33rd degree, and you start seeing that ice start to melt.
That's right.
One drop at a time.
Yeah.
And people quit at that 31, 32.
Right.
You just need that one little thing to get you warmed up, to get you rolling.
That's right.
And I don't like to see that. When I see that, I'm like, look, you're there. You're putting in all this work. Let me help you. Let me get you past. And I put myself in this position. Turns out, I didn't get to where I was supposed to get to, but I was out in the field. I went out in the field. I was in Fullerton. I get a call from Jerry Macias, Lalo. We know him as Lalo, right? Hey, bro. Mind you, we grew up together.
Right.
We went to school together from elementary to high school.
I know him for more than 10 years too. Good guy, man.
Yeah, this guy is great. He believed in me to do this before I even believed in myself.
I love it.
Him and my lady, they believed in me before I believed in myself.
Right.
And he calls me. We talk, but we don't really ever talk business. He called me. He was like, hey, bro, someone called me talking about Wences. He's like, a buddy of mine, Wences, called me. He's like, I've known this guy for over 10 years.
Right.
He's only called me for business stuff 3 times.
Yeah.
Every time I've said no, because I'm doing my real estate thing. Every time I see this guy, he's more successful. He's like, he's richer and richer, bro.
Yeah.
You need to talk to him. So look, I'm about to hit on the field. I'm about to train these 2 guys, but I got a few minutes. Cool. Got me in the line. We talk, introduce, hey, my name is Wences. BYLD Network. We chopped it up. I was like, hey, man, it's not the right time for me right now, but I'll keep you in mind if I make a move. This is Saturday.
Yeah.
I said, cool. When you're ready, give me a shout.
All right.
We go and hit the field. Right then and there. Go out and hit the field. Random street in Fullerton.
Right.
We see this guy, and one of my guys that was training, his name is Shane. He sees this guy. He's like, hey, bro, what are you doing out here? Right? He's like, oh, I do solar. He's like, you're dressed a little too nice to be doing solar. Because he was dressed nice. He's like, oh, well, actually, his name is Carlos.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Carlos Franco, I believe. I still have his car.
Yeah.
I think he has a foreclosure business. Yeah. So he's like, bro, you dressed a little too nice.
Right.
He's like, oh, well, I'm actually doing my other thing. I do something else, but I also do solar. So well, who? And that's when I stepped in. I was like, what do you do solar with? BYLD Network.
Wow.
What? And I was like, what the? I'll keep it right.
Yeah.
So what the? I was like, bro, I just talked to somebody from BYLD Network about an hour ago. I said, what'd you talk to? And I talked to this guy, Wences. Wences is a humble guy. He didn't tell me he was a CEO and nothing. He was just like talking to me like a straight humble guy. So I talked to Wences, and he got like, what? Like, bro, that's the owner of the company. How'd you get in contact with this guy? I was like, I actually, I told him, well, a friend of mine, a realtor friend of mine, Jerry Macias. He's like, Lalo? Well, that's my boy. I was like, for real? And then he told me, he's like, man, these are good people, bro. And you stumbled across the best opportunity you could have.
Interest.
You need to really consider this. So then I'm like, man, like, that's God slapping you in the face, telling you, hey, shaking me, right? Shaking you up like, hey, here you go. Literally within an hour from the 3-way comp. Never heard of BYLD. I'd never even heard of somebody named Wences. That's a rare name.
Unique, yeah.
Yes, I was like, I never heard of BYLD. I've never met a Wences. And then fast forward an hour later, in a random street in Fullerton, I ran into some guy who's part of BYLD. So that's when him hit me, and I'm like, okay, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Let me listen.
That's good. Wow.
And then, yeah, things didn't work out where I was at, and the first place I came was here.
Yeah. So, and I remember then I met with you and two of your buddies, broke down the comp plan, the solar side, and the rest is history, man.
Rest is history. Then I came here with like 10 people.
Yeah.
And some people didn't really catch the vision.
Yeah.
But that's where I came in, where what the hell am I going to listen to?
That's right.
Because, they went downstairs and people, and all due respect to them, because they're killers at what they do.
Yeah,
they're amazing. But just a different mindset, right?
Sure.
Who am I going to listen to? That's right. The guy that's been doing it, or the people that are doing something different.
Right.
I'm trying to go where he's at.
Right.
I'm going to listen to him.
And that's how it is, right? Not everybody's going to catch your vision, and that's fine. But you have to know what the vision is, and most people don't give anything enough time to be successful. We very often say 2 reasons why people don't achieve what they want. They're not doing something right, or they're not doing it often enough. You need that combination. It's not just one, not just the other. You got to do both, right? So closing thoughts, brother, what are some advice that you would give the new person that's barely getting started with BYLD Network and Encore Solar? What advice would you give them?
Plugging. Just plug into the system.
I love it.
We already have everything laid out.
Yes.
You sign everything up, go to the fast start. And on your fast start, we do a game plan interview. Do your game plan interview, set their goals, set everything up, and then guide them. Show them, hey, tune into these. Here's the calendar. Tune into this. Do this. Do this. Do this. Do yes.
I love it. It's so true. There's a system for a reason, right? I always encourage people, go and watch the movie The Founder if you haven't seen it. And you'll catch a vision of the original owners of McDonald's and then Ray Kroc. And Ray Kroc saw the vision and the system these guys created. So they had the system down, but they didn't have the vision. Ray Kroc saw the value in the system, but he had the vision to expand and franchise it. And these guys didn't have that vision, right? So when you got the right system and you got the right pods model, pods means points of distribution. The pods model, which is our broker model, and there's a system like the 8-point system. It's exactly how much of the proper activity to be doing on a daily basis. And this is something that's very unique to us, right? That it's one of the things I'm most proud of in the system that we built. And in the beginning, you're not going to understand the whole system, but the longer you're in, the longer you plug in, now things start to click. So again, you got to give it enough time. So,
and 2 points that I heard you say earlier, so I did want to touch on, right? You're talking about that people's biggest downfall is that, it's only $99, right? People ask me, why don't you start your own solar company? You understand? Why would I want to do that, right? We got a system here with the company that with the mindset, the trainers, the leaders, with the installer. You know how much work, how much money I would need if I did this,
right?
No offense, I don't want to do with Martin. I don't want to do solar with Martin from down the street.
Right.
I want freedom. It speaks volumes, and the way I see it, like you said, the way you put it to me, and it clicked. One of the many clicks is when you said, "Hey, look, man, it's this to set up $199, and it's $99 after that. So for 4 people to the business, you have no overhead,
right?
Where else can you do that,
right? And everything you get, the CRM, the websites, the training, the mentor program, nationwide. I mean, it just goes on and on. And Wences and I both have about 20 years of experience, right? The founders of the company, we have 20 years of experience in this industry, in direct sales, network marketing. And I've got about 4.5 years in solar, but my 4.5 years are pretty dense, right? Thousands, and now it's about 5,000 installs, right? Up to this point, right? My first 3 years was 2,100. So we put all that together. And even me, when we were putting this thing together, and I was talking to my partner, Wences, I said, hey, it's a tall order, man. We do that. We got to both be all in, and it's going to cost a lot of money because we've seen it. We've seen people start their own companies, and very often people start their own companies. They don't realize what the road ahead of them. So they lose credibility, they lose money, they lose time. I want to make sure that we were ready, and thankfully we were, and things are going better than I expected them to be going. I'm not really surprised, but because I know that we're blessed with what we've got, with the people that we've got, people like you and the rest of the people in the company. So, Johnny, thank you very much for coming on the podcast, bro. I appreciate it. This is going to be hot. I love that you shared the story, because that's such a unique story of how you met Wences in that same day. We're going to take that clip, man, and we're going to share that as a fire clip, because that was a good one.
That's true story, and I have witnesses.
Oh, I know.
2 guys that I was training.
Told me for.
Nice. Yeah, my boy Shane and this guy Zach. They were out there in the field with me, and thank you for having me on. He said, build your mindset, man. That's you're going to see my team continue to rank up. A lot of those going from 0 to 32 to 33 to 34 to 100 degrees because it's what you guys promote here, that to build your mindset.
That's right. My guy. Thank you very much, brother, for coming on the podcast. All right. See you guys on the next one.